Any like reading or looking at videos or anything like that?
I read something about React.
Yeah,
Cool.
I did 2 readings.
Gotcha.
Yeah, readings and
I
exercise.
did a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, I was able to read that.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Sweet. Well, awesome. Let's get into it. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Here we go. All right, cool. So this is a project you're going to be doing. So let's get this thing here. This is a React template that you can continue to use, by the way, after you're done with the cohort. If you want to make a project using React. All right, this is it. I'm going to open up code space. Yeah, so React kind of like there's these things called frameworks. You'll hear that word framework. There's front end frameworks, back end frameworks, and it's just kind of like a yeah, it's just like a I don't know what the hell this is like a tool to help you use HTML and JavaScript, and it just like comes with a lot of things that are pre-packed in it that you can use for like advanced things, and it has approaches of organizing things. So there's a lot of JavaScript based frameworks. React is one of them. There's Vue, one for making mobile applications, React Native, which is similar to React, and the list goes on. And yeah, there's backend frameworks too when we get to that, working with data and everything. And yeah, so I'm going to keep in mind the project we're going to be working on this. And I'm just going to talk about what tool, how you can use React to make this. And then we can ask questions and things like that. Feel free to follow along if you like. Maybe just copy this and just open up a code space. Like, don't like fork it. Maybe just you can open it up and try to copy things I'm doing. Maybe if you want. But cool. Here we are, React land. So here in the thing it says we can use npm run start. By the way, Carlos, have you heard use a new template? Like they're not using Flux anymore.
Oh no,
we're not using. But like once we use that like in the to-do list, I guess Flux is being archived. So it's similar, but it's going to be something we got to learn.
Oh, it's yes, actually Laura had told me about that.
Yeah.
Let me check it out. I hadn't even checked the template. Yeah.
Yeah, Shane made a video. I could send it to you if you like. It's pretty similar. But yeah, I'll send it to you. All right. So this is what the React thing gives you when you first begin it. Okay, so this one has Bootstrap installed to it. If we go to the package JSON, it shows Bootstrap right here. Looks like version 5.2. And so we're going to talk about components. What a component is. Maybe you read a little bit about it. And what I had in mind was to quickly demo one way of building a website not using Bootstrap. Not using components, and show you the version with components so we can see the benefit. Cool. So let's see here. Let's get like a nav bar. Let's say I want a nav bar. Right. So I'll copy this. from Bootstrap. So you'll be working. We'll talk about the structure later. I just want to jump into components real quick. So typically in home, you get rid of what's inside. That's all that code. Now it goes away. Cool. And we'll paste the nav bar. And with React, I'm not sure what the specific excuse me, reason is, but there's slight differences with HTML. So for example, an input, like when you copy it from Bootstrap, they give you an input like this. And then in React, you need to close it like that. I forget, is inputs like that with a regular, I don't know. But anyway, that's a thing you need to look out for. There's other ones that are like that, like this thing in HR, which I don't even remember what that is. I never use it. But anyway, it looks like it needs a slash there to close it off. It's like a divider. Oh, I think it's like a line. Like if you want to put a line just to separate something and it's like subtle. Yeah, pretty sure. I think I have used it. Anyway, cool. So let's look at that worked. There's our nav bar from Bootstrap. Cool.
It's like a little line, yes, that divides the sections, yes, HR.
Perfect. All right, so that's a nav bar. And maybe I'll tab this over a little. Something like that. Okay, that's our nav bar. Great. Now we'll get maybe like a table, perhaps. We'll get that one. Looks good. So after the nav bar, we'll get the table. What was the thing? Prettier, right? Let me try to put that.
The extension? Yep.
Yeah, organized.
Yeah, y'all use that? I know I heard Shailene talk about it once.
Yeah, on VS Code, yeah.
Okay. Prettier. So when you save it, it automatically indents things for you and stuff. So it's there. So if I save this, okay, looks like it did it. Yeah, looks pretty organized. Okay, so I got a table. Let's see if that's there. Okay, there's my table. All right, and now I'll get one more thing. Maybe like an accordion, maybe? This thing? Yeah, that's cool. So copy that. And I'll put it right below the table. And then let's see if Prettier does its thing. Cool. Okay. Here's my accordion. So I got 3 things. Great. And so how many lines of code do I got? I got 200 lines of code. And so not using a component approach, you have to kind of rely on how indented you are, which I guess Prettier can take care of for you. Class names, you can collapse things like this. And that kind of helps you a little bit. Oh, whoops. What the? Okay. Cool. So let me put up here so I don't forget. We got the nav bar. We got the table. And we got the accordion. All right. So now let's do that with components. So we'll start over. Oh, I'll just undo it all. I'll remember that, or somebody else will. Navbar table accordion. Okay. So typically the home page is like, that's where you're be your home base typically. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So we'll start, usually what I do is I get rid of everything in the template like this, and I'll just say home, just to, and it's the same name as the home page. Okay. So I look, I see the word home. All right, it's working. So now I would copy all of this to get the syntax. Control A, Control C, and now I would, I guess, you know what? I might copy this file. Like if you right click right on there, you can copy it and then click on the component folder, right click on the component folder and hit paste. And it does that. You don't need to do that. I'm just, instead of copying and pasting and writing a new file, I'll rename it and I'll call this navbar because I know I want a navbar. All right. So now I'm going to rename this navbar like that. And cool. And now what I can do is go in here and I can say, so I can do a opening caret thing, capital N for navbar, start typing it, and it shows up right there. So I can click there. If you notice on line 5, it automatically imported it right there. And then I close it like this, like that. Okay, and what that does is it shows the word navbar because, well, let me say home. So we got home and we have navbar. So this word navbar component, let's call it, it's showing from there. Okay. And so it's like you're saving whatever is inside of this file, you're saving it, and all you need is this one line, line 12, to show it. Okay. Cool. So now let's go into the navbar component. We would call this a component. This is a component right here. And so this is your HTML. It's inside of a return. Okay, so you can put HTML stuff. Oh, it's got to be on the same line, it looks like. But I think if I do like parentheses, it will allow me to click on it like that. That's better. Okay. So now this is your HTML right here inside the return. Sweet. So now I will, instead of this div class name text center, I can put my navbar thing, which I think is this one. Yeah, and I'll put that slash and this slash here. Wait, yeah. So now all this code from Bootstrap is in the navbar component. If I go here, it's right there. And that's inside of my home component. And all I need to do for 44 lines of code is show it one time there. And so we can do the same thing like for the, what do you call it? The other ones, you know, the last time I had 200 lines of code and now it's going to be like what, 6 maybe or something. um,
7, yeah.
something like that.
If we take the render and the imports, yes. Gonna be each for
Sure.
7.
Okay, yeah. So anybody want to try to walk me through how do I get? So now I need to do a table component, and I kind of walked through the steps. A lot of it was copying and pasting. Anybody want to try to tell me what to click on and stuff? And of course, if you don't know, well, we can all help each other. But I want to make a table component now. What's my first step?
You say that you want to create another component, a table, right?
A table component, yeah.
So you need to add a new file there with the component, and then write the component inside the file, and then call it, right?
Right. Awesome. Yeah, we have this components folder right here that right now has home and navbar. So I'm gonna want to create one called table. So first things first, I would choose one that's like simple. This one is like not a lot of stuff going on. So I would copy this, everything inside of it. Then I go make sure I click on components folder and do new file, and I'll call it table.jsx. And I'll talk about that JSX in a moment. I just want to take things one at a time. And I'll paste what I copied. And now I'm going to get rid of this stuff. And my first object I would want to do is have a return and a div that only has the word, what is this, table. Let's call it table component. And I would rename this home thing and call it table with a capital T. I forget why. I'm pretty sure it needs to be capital. I don't know if it's a convention or what, but this is always the way I see it. So yeah, you got table on the export in the bottom and 5 on the top right here. And then in the return, a div with only a text saying table component. And then I'll go to my home. Generally speaking, at least for now when we're starting, your components will always go back to home one way or another. So now I can hit enter. And I can, like, again, start with my opening caret. Start typing out table. There it is, it shows up. Because it's a capital T and there's that little thing there. So I click on that. It automatically imports it right there. And then I just got to do a space and close it like this. And now when I go, it says table component. So it worked. Yeah, let's do that again. I'm going to delete that and delete this. And somebody walk me through it.
All right, you're gonna create in the components folder. You're gonna create a new file,
Okay.
and name it table component or table.
Like you can name it whatever you want.
Yes.
I think more conventional.
Okay.
Table sounds better.
Table. Okay. .jsx.
Cool. Hit enter.
And then you're gonna go to the home file and copy that code.
Okay.
And paste it inside the file. And then so the constant or the variable, we can change it to table with a capital T. And then in the div, we will change that to table. Table component. But we'll keep the caret thingies, just take out the word navbar. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go like this.
Yeah.
Is that you're saying?
Yes. Or table component. I mean, it doesn't, oh, you're just doing that to hold the place of it, really, right?
Right. So I would just put a text, just the word table
Okay.
component, or
Okay.
whatever you
Okay.
want. It's just like it could just be like blah
Okay.
blah blah, just something so you know. Yeah.
Got you. So you know it's where it's going. Okay. So
Yeah.
then, so since our variable is table, we're gonna go back to our home file.
Almost there. Scan the document. This file.
Oh.
There's one more thing we gotta change.
Oh, it should say, which I don't know. Oh, import table. What is the name of it? Table from table?
It has to do with line 16.
Export default. Oh, we will change that to take the name of the file. No, now I'm confused.
Table. It has to match line 8. So 8 and
Okay, it has to
16.
match the whatever you name the variable.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's do that one more time.
Okay.
So let me see. You pasted it, and walk me through it one more time, just
Mhm.
to repetition.
Okay, so the variable name home, we're going to change that to table with a capital T. And then we want to make sure our export matches our name of our variable. So instead of home, we're going to change that to table with a capital T.
Cool.
And then inside our div, we can delete the navbar and just put table component so we know what it is or what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
And that's it with that file.
Nice.
So now we go back to our home file, home.jsx. And inside our div, we're going to add under the navbar, we're going to add table. The same way it's written as navbar, but the word table with a capital T.
All right.
And
Missed
then
one
it
step
should
there.
import something. Yeah, I saw it didn't import.
Nice. And how did I import it last?
How did you import it? That's a good question.
There's one little shortcut.
Is it on this?
So the way I
The
did
general
follow
idea
friend?
is
Is it from Bootstrap?
no, this is no. So the way I did it was I started typing it out, and then it came up here.
Oh,
And then
got you.
what
You
makes it,
select
Oh, cool.
it.
yeah. And then I finish it off just like you.
Oh, I got you.
But in case you don't have that,
So it's better
remember
to
that
just do it that way, so it automatically
import
will
every
import.
single component.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I just wanted to show you guys. I mean, I just wanted to show you the easiest way to do this on your own, the best shortcuts, copying and pasting, and all that.
Mhm.
And then once we feel good, I'll talk about, okay, what is this, and here's the structure. This is why the import works. So, but I just want to show you like typically the way I do it. But yeah, nice. So the table is here. And so now what we can do is we can go to Bootstrap, for example, and type in table. It gives us this. We can copy it. And where would I paste that now?
In our table file inside the div where we put our placeholder.
Perfect. Yeah. Paste that. I'm going to save it so Prettier does its thing. And there it is. And so that's, 40 lines of code. The nav bar is another 40. That's around 80. What is that, 160? But on my home, it's just whatever that is. And look how clean and easy it is to look at, All right, great. Let's have someone else walk me through it. And we need to do the accordion. I had the accordion last time. Yeah, this thing. All right. I don't know. Israel, you want to walk me through it?
Okay. Need to create a new file in components, right?
Okay.
And name it accordion. That JSX.
So what?
JSX.
X.
And copy the home, the code from home file. And paste it in accordion. Then change the name of the variable for it could be accordion, right?
Yeah. Capital A.
Yeah, it needs to be always the first letter. It needs to be always capital.
Someone can look that up. That's what I always see.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I think it's a common practice. It's a common practice, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, and then replace the sport for the name home instead of home accordion. And delete the navbar and table components. And copy and paste the code from Bootstrap. And then in home follow, we're gonna call accordion after table. With the you open the what is that called exactly? Accordion. Right there. Oh, you need to press there, right? So it will import automatically.
Yeah, and maybe with this one, I'll kind of talk about the import a little more. So, if you do, can I do this? No. If I do the word import, and I do quotes, and I do a // for example, it's showing. So this is a file path. Like remember when we were working on the terminal stuff.
Yeah,
you do ls, it shows the files. We can cd to move into it. And let's go to JS. So now I'm in the JS directory and the terminal. So if I want to go back to directories, aka 2 folders, I would have to do cd .. I think I can go like that. And then move me back 2 of them. So now the blue doesn't say srcjs. It only says this thing because I went 2 back. So that's like a file. That's what they call a file path, like the path to the file. So if you do just a // I think that just means you're in the same directory. Like, so it shows you when I do that, it shows accordion, navbar, and table. And if you notice, we're in home JSX right now. Here's home JSX. It's inside the components folder. Inside components, we have accordion, navbar, and table. So that's why when I go here and I do // I see those options. That's what's near me. So if I went .. it shows components and main because that's the name of the folder. And there's the main JSX file right there. Now, if I go .. it shows image, JS, and styles. So that's what I got, image, JS, and styles, etc. So what you do with import is you put the name of the thing you are exporting. So that's why at the bottom we put export default accordion. So we're exporting it. This is a function technically. So let's dig into what's going on here a little bit. We know the shortcuts and how to make it work. So this is an arrow function. We know that syntax. Const, the name of your function, equals parentheses and an arrow. So, I can say const, say hello, equals this. Oops. Do that, curly's, enter, and console log, whatever, say hello. That's a function. Yeah. So that's an arrow function, and it's returning something. So functions do that. You can return a string, return whatever, like we've practiced before. So it's returning something, but what it's returning, someone says a question? I was hearing things. But anyway, it's returning HTML. Okay. It's returning all this HTML stuff. And so that's what the function does. It's almost like it's almost like saying const header equals parentheses curly bracket return, h1. It's a header. This is a header. So it's returning that. So I can then say export header, and that allows me to pass it along to somebody else in a different file. Pass along what's it returning. If I export it, I can receive it in a different file. That's kind of like how it's set up. So we're exporting accordion. So here we can name the thing that we're importing, accordion, and then we say from, we put the quotes, and we give that file path. In this case, we have // and it shows you the accordion component right there because it's in the same location. So I can click accordion, and when it's a JSX file or a JS file, you don't need to add because it says accordion because that's the name of the file, accordion.jsx. If I could named it, rename, if I said like unicorn JSX, I change this to unicorn, it would still work because that's the name of the file. And that's why when you put the name accordion right here, it gets it from that import. So yeah, and it's still working. That's the thing. Great. Sweet. Any questions about that? That's not too bad, right? Go ahead, Israel.
I got a question on the other files, the components, unicorn, table, and navbar. You need to import each like can you go to unicorn, please? So you see, go out where you have all the. Okay, so you need to import each component navbar table in each file.
No.
Okay, you don't need to do. Okay.
Nope.
As long as you're using it, yes. If not, no.
Okay.
Right.
So you only write it once in the home component?
Yeah, here. Yeah.
Yes. The only thing that you should do, nonetheless, is exporting the component once it's done.
In each of them, right?
Yeah, each individual one you export it. Yeah. And so cool. Any other questions about that? All right. And so,
Sorry, Alex, I have a question.
yeah, sure.
Maybe you said it, but
Hmm.
I have distraction here. I see that following the instructions of the project, we have to create the tabs of navbar, card, table, but I don't see accordion. So why we are using that? Or
I'm just giving an example.
okay, it's just an
Yeah. I mean,
example.
I'm using a table too, and I don't think you guys have to make a table, do you?
No,
No. Yeah. So
no,
I'm
no.
just
Well,
giving an example.
but okay, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, so that's a good segue. I was gonna try to talk about that. So you can try to visualize what are my components I'm gonna have. Kind of looks like this would be one component. That's like a nav bar. This thing, that little whatever. I think it's called a jumbotron. Something they used to have.
Yeah, jumbotron,
Jumbotron
navbar.
or Hero?
Okay, but I don't think we even have that anymore. It is simple though. It's just looks like an H1, a P tag, and a button.
Yeah,
So anyway, that
Mhm.
could be a
whatever,
component. You
whatever.
can just like group things together in your mind. And so this thing right here would be one component, and we're gonna talk about that. Like this card thing, this like a image, a title, a description, and a button. That's like one component, and you would just repeat that, and we'll talk about that. Sweet. So now here's what I want to do. Talk about props. So another cool thing about this is, let's talk about one component right here, the nav bar. So okay, so a cool thing about this is you can go like this and have a bunch of nav bars. But that's a weird example with a nav bar, but other ones, it's pretty sweet because you know what is that? Basically 50 lines of code, and I did however many. Let's pretend I think it's 5. And so what is that? 50 times 5, 2,500 lines of code. I don't know if I did the math there, but anyway, if it is, it's a lot of lines.
250.
Okay, 250. I said 20. You could have just let me thought I did it right, Brandon. But anyway,
My bad.
but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and then now I have 2,500 lines of code. Yeah, and so instead of 2,500, I have 40 lines of code, right? That still looks a little crazy, but you guys you get what I'm saying. So it's good for that. And then additionally, there's this idea of props. So it's a little similar to a function and the parameters that we've talked about a lot. You can say const say hello and console log. All right. So here we can say name. That's a parameter. It's like a placeholder. It has no value until we give it one. So you can say hello plus name. So if I say hello love, it'll say hello love. And if I say hello Alex, it'll say this thing will change and say hello Alex, etc. That's a parameter. A prop is kind of similar. So in the nav bar, we can how would I want to tell you guys? I'll do it like this. So you could put inside of this parentheses, you can put a curly bracket. and that allows you to receive the prop. Okay, so we can call this title, for example. And okay, so this is going to be cool because one of the very cool things about React is you can put JavaScript inside of the HTML. So remember, in the way we've practiced previous to this, if I want to change what this says with JavaScript, what do I have to do? I have to, there's a thing to identify it. It would be a different file, right? Like app.js maybe. I would have to do document.query selector. It's a class nav bar brand. So that selects it with JavaScript. And then I can say dot inner text equals something. And that could be a variable or something. Yeah. So instead of doing all that, I just have to do the following. So I set up my prop here inside the parentheses. And now instead of that text navbar, I can delete that and put a curly bracket, and I can say title. So it's taking what's here and it's putting it there. Okay. And you can name it whatever you want. Cool. So now it wants to receive that title. So now we can go to home. This is where we're calling the component. I think that's pretty sure that's the way you say it. Like we say calling a function. Here we're calling the component, and we can pass it here. So inside of it, like right there, you give a space, and you can say title, because that's what we named it here, title. So title is equal to, and we can say title 1, let's say. So that passes the string title 1 to here, which gets passed down to wherever I want to put it. So it's similar to parameters of functions. So look, it says title 1 right there. And so we could do the same thing. We can go title equals title 2, and then title is equal to title 3.
So, Alex, is it looking at title as you declaring a variable? Is that what it's kind of looking at it as?
Kind of similar to parameters of functions. It's kind of a variable, you know?
Okay, cool.
And again, you can name it whatever you want. So I could just, if I want to call it, you know, burger, and here it would be, let me see. Burger. And that would still work. Title 1, title 2, title 3. So yeah. So let's practice that a little. So what did we have before?
Corner.
Okay, that, yeah. Okay, so so someone walk me through. I'll get rid of this. So this will be easy one, and then we'll do it to the other components too. 652, we're doing good. All right, so Love went, Israel went. Jackie, how about you walk me through setting up a prop for the nav bar to change the title?
um, to change the title of the navbar.
Yeah, using a prop.
Mm, I prefer wait and and see how to do it, and then maybe collaborate.
That sounds good. Yeah, we'll do it to with when we go to we'll do it to navbar first, and then you'll go next, and you'll do it to table. All right.
Okay.
So well, let's see. Brandon, want to give it a shot?
Sure. All right. What are we doing? We're changing navbar.
Yeah,
We're adding
changing
tabs to navbar.
the navbar title using a prop.
Okay, using a prop. Okay, so we locate the navbar line item. So line item 10 is what we would be looking into. Line item 10. So we would add title equals, and then it would be a string, so quotation, and then we could say whatever title one. If we want to use the same exact thing you did, title 1 quotation. Then we would go back to the navbar JSX. Yep. And then looking at it as similar to parameters, we would put title 1 within that empty bracket at the line item 5. Right, so we'd add, yep, parentheses, yep. So we'd add title 1 in the same way we did on the other screen. So it would be, I think, capital T.
Okay.
Right.
Like this?
Oh, wait a minute. No. So it would be lowercase. Yep, lowercase title, since that's what we're pulling.
Okay,
perfect.
Cool.
Perfect. And then
one little detail we're missing there on line 5.
Number 1. It has to have the same number. The same name.
The same name. So we'd pull title since
it has to match
it like a variable. It has to match that, right? Which it does.
Yeah. Which it does. Yeah.
Which it does. Title.
Something needs to surround this.
Oh, is it the quotations?
Not quotations, no. It's curly bracket.
Oh, okay. And why is that?
It's called destructurization or some weird word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead and finish it, and then I'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay, got you. Okay, so once we do that, we go to the line item number 9, and then we would add the same verbiage there. So title, yep, just like that. Is it just like that?
Almost. Something else we're missing.
Parentheses.
Not parentheses, but curly brackets again.
Oh, dang it. Okay, yeah. Title in curly brackets, and then we should be good to go. It should show up now on the live browser.
Title 1. Good.
Oh, that's a lot. Okay.
Nice, sweet. So, yeah. So technically, we could do the word props. I mean, I guess we can do anything. Blah. I think whatever you put in there,
yeah,
it will. And so if we, so let me do something. Let me say inside of here, we can add more than one prop. So we can say name equals Alex. So we have 2 different props, title and name. So if I go here and I console log blah, and I'm going to put a title so I know in the thing what it is, blah. Okay, so that's blah. Oh, is it because of the am I console logging in the wrong place? Maybe. Get my navbar. Yeah. Maybe it's here. What? No, still not. What is it? The return. what am I missing? Oops. Oh, it is showing up. But why title is not defined? Oh, because I changed it. But doesn't matter. We'll ignore that for right now. Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, here is blah, the thing I console logged. Like this thing right here.
Yeah.
I'm console logging it here. What is that thing? And what's inside of it is right here. It's an object that has
Some different key pair values.
the two different props I put, name and title. And the reason is because that's what I identified them. I put title and I put name.
How does it look on the live browser? The browser.
Like here, it's
Yeah.
so the way you would do that with doing it this way would be blah dot title, and it shows up there because that's how you get inside of an object. This is an object. If you look, there's curly brackets right there, and the key is called name or title.
Title
that we're using.
Okay, so if you do blah.name, it would show Alex in that exact same area.
Exactly right. Blah dot
Alex
name. And it shows Alex.
Okay, but the fact that you had blah there, it allowed for us to pass through the values. However, it doesn't mean it's going to show unless if we specify which value we want to tap into. Okay. Right. So you're just showing us that the fact that we didn't necessarily have to have the same exact parameter for it to pass through.
Yeah, and so there's this thing with objects that if you destructure it like this, you can just put the name of the keys, like title and name are the keys. So now in here I can put title, comma, name, and I just have direct access. I don't need to say blah dot name. I can just say name.
Gosh, okay. So either one is valid. It's just that we have to do extra steps somewhere if we, depending on which way we wrote it.
Yeah. Why is it not working though? Blah is not defined. Where did I put blah? Put that up, didn't you? Oh, here it is. So now it's working.
Okay.
So anyways, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, so curly brackets. So the main thing to remember is that you put a prop here, no, equals something, and you put the curly bracket inside the parentheses and it has to match the name, the equal part. It has to match that here, and then you can put curly brackets in the HTML to use it. Yeah, sweet. All right, cool. So repetition. Jackie, let's give this a shot. So let's see. How about let's change the labels here. First, last, and handle. So instead of first, last, and handle, we can say, I don't know, first name, last name, and social media. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
First name, excuse me, first name, last name, social media. And so let's just do the first one. Instead of first, I want to see first name. And that's the table component.
Okay, so there in line 11, we have to write component and then equals to to first name in quotations, first name,
Cool.
and and then we have to move to the table GSX,
Uh-huh.
and then inside the brackets we
The
have,
parentheses. Uh-huh.
sorry, the parentheses, we have to write the prompt that is curly bracket
Curly bracket. Cool.
component,
Nice.
and then mm,
So instead of first right here, I want to say first name.
okay, then in the line 15
Uh-huh.
we have to write the component, right? The prompt, right?
Okay, yeah. How would I do that? Walk me through it.
Um, you have to raise first
Uh-huh.
and write there the prompt curly bracket component.
Nice. All right, let's see if that worked. Great. It says first name, and we did that. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we can stop there. I think that we got the point across. So any questions about props with that?
No.
All right, sweet. So, excuse me. The powerful thing about this, the whole point of components is that you can reuse them. So, like, maybe you want a table in the, when you log into your account, but you also want a table for when people are reviewing their settings, perhaps. So in here, I could import table and say the component, and I would call this title probably just because it's more intuitive. Or maybe table title or something. Anyway, but you could do component, you know, um, uh, 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 customer name or something. And then we can go to a whole different file, a completely different place of your website, and call another one. But now the component title thing will be, settings or something. So you're reusing your code and just like changing little things, and that's kind of the powerful part of it. Yeah, sweet. All right, awesome, guys. So now I wanted to talk before we go into our break about repeating things. So maybe we'll do it with the accordion. No, I'll do something new. So let's get a new component here. We'll do a modal. Let's do a modal. So this is a modal. We used it in our, I think, Instagram bootstrap thing. You click in it, and it shows up there. All right. So I'm going to make a component. I'm going to copy this file, and I'll paste this, rename it. I'll call it modal. And so Israel, when you did, I forget which component you did, you jumped right away to pasting the bootstrap in it, which is fine. I usually try to put only text, because what if the bootstrap isn't working,
Okay.
and you do it right away and there's an error? It's like you don't know is there something wrong with your syntax of your component, or is it the bootstrap? And so to make sure that this is all working correctly, I just do this text first.
So you want to try before actually doing the whole component.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely don't need to. I mean, it depends. I don't know.
It's a good practice, I think.
Yeah. But okay, so I'm gonna rename this to modal. Get rid of this stuff I'm not using. And then I'm gonna import it here. Let me just get rid of this stuff for now. All right, and I'm gonna modal, it's this one here. Got it there, get rid of that. Go there, save it. If I go here, see the modal thing, okay. So now, I think I have to copy it again. So, we're in modal, so I'm gonna paste that, get rid of these comments. Is this the thing that has, no it doesn't. Okay, save it. There it is, I click it, it works, great. So now, let's say for some reason I wanna have 3 of these. So it's gonna be the exact same code, but maybe some slight differences. Like let's say my goal is for it to say launch demo modal 1, launch demo modal 2, and modal 3. So I could just do this and put some props. But what's wrong with that? I don't know. This is a different way of doing it, I guess. And sometimes you have more complicated requirements that just simply doing this doesn't work. I don't know. But I'm going to show you how to do it. And this goes back to the map loop that we were practicing the other day. And this is why I wanted to practice with you guys. So to review real quick, we got array 1, let's say. We got an array. So to map that, I'm going to say array1.map, parentheses. Okay, the name of the array, doing .map. And then I'm going to hit enter twice, or it seemed like I could have done it once. Do arrow function and curlies and hit enter. All right, here I am. And then I got to put a name to represent the item. I can say item or something else. And now I can do something to it there. All right, so now we're going to do something similar. So let's say we have an array where modal titles. That's why we would do it this way. Yeah. Okay. Modal titles. So let's say modal 1. We got modal 2. And modal 3. This is exactly why we would do this thing. All right. So that's our array. Perfect. So similar to how we put these curly brackets inside of the HTML, that's like you're using JavaScript inside of HTML. Like a variable is JavaScript. That's a JavaScript thing, not an HTML thing. So you can also do whatever you can do in JavaScript, like 1 + 1, that's JavaScript. And it would show up like 2 in your HTML. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some curly brackets and we're gonna map this modal's title. We're gonna loop over it because that's what I want my prop to be. I want to use these props each time I call a modal. All right. So I can hit enter here, give myself some room. And I'm gonna start just like a map. Well, what's the first thing in a map that I need to put?
The function.
The name of the array.
Name of the array,
Dot map.
which is modal titles.
Dot map.
Dot map parentheses. Hit enter. Okay, hit enter. Put my arrow function. Curlies. Hit enter again, just like before. I'm gonna put a name to represent each item. So I'm gonna call this title. I'll call it modal. I'll call it title. That's what it is. It's a title. Then I go inside of that arrow. And now the new part that we're gonna have to learn is you put a return parentheses, hit enter, and you put a div. Whoop, whoop. Div. Why didn't it do it automatically? Opening and closing div and hit enter. Okay? Do that one more time. We repeated this pretty good amount. You put the name of the array. It's worth it. Let me do it one more time. Okay. Curly brackets, hit enter. Name of the array, which is modal titles, dot map, enter, give myself some room. And then I'll put the name of the array. Wait, no, I did that already. Arrow function. Curly brackets, hit enter. Now I got to do a return, parentheses, enter, div. Again, it's not. What the heck? Usually it does automatically. And then I'm gonna hit enter. You guys are gonna do this so much, you'll get it little by little, and we'll practice it in the project today. Okay, cool. I forgot my thing here. Title. So now inside of this thing, I want for each of these items, I want to have a modal component. So I'll put that here inside of there. So how many modals is this going to give me based on this array? How many total modals will I have?
2.
Not 2.
I mean 3, sorry.
3. Yeah, exactly. And so for each, so all of this is the same thing as doing this 3 times, because there's 3 items. And for each item, I'm returning a modal. Okay, cool. And not only that, is it just like looping and doing the same thing, but I also have access to these items. So what is title equal to? This thing right here.
Modal 1.
Right, modal 1 for the first iteration. And then the next one, it'll be equal to modal 2. So that's going to change. So now I can say modal title equals title, like that. That's a prop, as we talked about. Right? So now, in my modal, just like we talked about before, I can go put my curly bracket, say title. Wait, no, what I call it? Modal title? Modal title. I always copy and paste. I don't trust myself. Modal title. And now here, I can say modal title, like we practiced. And I think that's everything. Right, there you go. So now I have 3 of them. Modal 1, modal 2, modal 3, because of that array. La la la.
Do you have to always create the array in order for it to loop?
Yeah. Yeah. And typically, I'm not going to give you an example of this because that's jumping ahead, but when you call from a backend like an API, what it gives you 9 times out of 10 is going to be an array with some stuff in there, like a list of friends, an array of the friends, like on Facebook. Everyone has a name and a picture and their whatever. So you'll receive that as an array. So when you go on Facebook and there's like the Facebook chat, and it has like the circle of their image and their name and their online status, that's coming from some API, like an array, most likely, that has the name, the live status, etc. And so I'm sure they're having some kind of map like thing where they map and they return probably a list, like a ULLI HTML thingy.
Mm-hmm.
And each one they'll have a name that says friend, maybe, and it'll be like friend dot image, friend dot live status and stuff. So it's not, the question isn't really do I need to create an array? It's more like you always will have an array.
Okay.
And so it's just a nice like thing. Yeah. So let's try to do it. Shay, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. This is like the big jump here. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And let's see, right before we go on a break, try out. And wait, I gotta undo this. All right, let's go for it.
So the same thing, the modal when I create it.
The exact same thing, yeah.
So you'll do the curly brackets first.
Cool.
Enter.
Mm.
Then you will have to write modal titles.
Okay.
Or
Name
title.
of the array.
Equals.
Not equals.
I already forgot. Okay. Modal title is.
Oh wait, titles.
Is it the parentheses?
Not right away. How are we looping over the array?
How are we looping?
It's not a for each.
Oh, the arrow function.
Not an arrow function either. A 3-letter word.
Oh, map. You're gonna map it.
Cool. So what do I need to map it? Like what?
You need to put dot map.
Right.
Parentheses.
Nice.
Open that. Open the parentheses. That's when you put the arrow function there.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, and then you need to put something inside those parentheses.
Cool.
Title. You can put title.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then you go to the next line. No, you need those curly brackets.
Right.
Sorry, it's hard to see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then
in the video you can there's like a icon of like a magnifying glass and a plus button. You can click it and then like move the screen.
I don't have that.
Oh really?
Oh wait, I do. Okay.
Well yeah, so do that.
There we go. Okay, so after that you will have to put why did I blank out? Okay, you have to put
a lot of steps. It's a begins with the letter R.
Oh, so you have to return.
Nice, yep.
Return modal, return title.
Almost. So here it's return parentheses, enter. And you remember what goes in there before the modal? A div.
Title? Oh, a div?
Yeah.
Open and close div.
How do you want to give me the DOV? And then when I try to do a normal div. Anyway. Oh my lord. Okay, opening and closing div, and you hit enter.
And then after that, you have to put in modal title or title.
Okay, yeah, but remember we want to show the modal component as well. Remember, it has to be a prop. We want to return the modal component, but just like were calling components earlier, and then it will be a prop that will be the title part of it. So how do we call the modal component?
Do you write calling it? So do you write modal and then with the parentheses?
Yeah, like for example, if I wanted to call the navbar component, so remember we have components here, modal JSX, navbar JSX, etc. So navbar, it has all this HTML in it. It's called navbar with a capital N, and we're exporting it as a navbar with a capital N. So that allows us to import it and use it. So if I wanted to use a navbar component, I would go like capital N navbar. It shows up there. I click. That gives me this thing. And then I do a space. And now I successfully called the navbar component. So you need to do the same, but with modal inside the return.
Okay, so it'll be an open tag modal. Yeah, and then close space / close.
But you should click it because that gives you the import automatically.
Oh, when it pops up right there.
Yeah, and then space / close. Cool. All right, working good. We still need the title part as a prop.
So that would be the prop is like this is equal, right? So title equal.
Okay, yeah. Where would I put that?
I want to say in the same line as modal, but it's space.
Okay, nice. Yep. Title equals.
Can you put modal again?
What do you mean modal again?
As the prop. I don't think so.
It could be anything. So like earlier, the examples we gave was like we had navbar, we called it, and we said title is equal to, this is my navbar or something. And that's a prop. So then inside a navbar, I can say I have to go curly brackets, and then the name of whatever I said. Like I said title, like title equals. So that I had to say title, and that gives me access to whatever I put in the after the equals. So now inside the HTML, I can go like this, curly brackets title, and it will show this is my nav and the thing.
Okay, so
yeah, try to implement that. So we have title equals
quotation.
Uh-huh.
So in this part, it could be anything like
Right.
sentence or.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my title. This is the title.
Title, cool. And by the way, this can be anything too. This equal thing. But anyway, title is good. All right, so where do I go now to?
Then you have to go. All right, to the.
Oh wait, hold up, my bad. Generally speaking, this can be anything. It can equal to a string. But in this case, we want these things to show up as a title. This array.
Oh.
And we have access to these items with this thing. That's what this is about. So instead of title equals quotation, we can put curly brackets. And what should we put inside a curly bracket?
Modal.
Not modal.
Well, title.
Yeah. And maybe let's name this something different, like title item. And now this will be title item. And let's call this one title prop, because that's what it is. All right, so that has to match this. And now where do we go from here?
You have to go back to your model.jsx.
Uh-huh.
And you have to put in line 4 the curly brackets.
Cool.
All right. And then you have to put title.
Not title, but what?
Title item.
Not title item, nope.
Prop. Title prop.
Prop. It has to match whatever you label this as. So title prop. All right.
And then
this is the current title, this stuff right here.
So you have to put it there as well in the curly bracket.
Okay, yeah. So put what exactly?
So curly brackets, title prop.
Prop. All right. Let's check it out. Yeah, it worked. Oh, I put an S. Yeah, Modal 1, Modal 2, Modal 3. And that's what you put there. Great. Nice. And this is repetition, you know? You guys are going to do it again in the project coming up now. Me and Carlos will be walking y'all through. And next, this is so common, like I said. Almost always you get an array of some data. And a lot of times on websites, things look the same. And you want to do a loop. And so it's just... You'll get this for sure.
Hey Alex, can I see back to where you placed the title you call it the title prop variable? Not in this tab, in the I think the modal tab, yes. Okay. Why did you place it there again? Why that specific line 13?
Well, the reason I know to put it there is because when I copy it from Bootstrap, this is like the one they give you. It says launch demo modal.
Okay.
And when I look at it, I can see that's the thing. So like that's a good point. So like let's pretend the thing I wanted to change was actually this. Then what I do is I look for this text, modal title. So I'll go here and I'll do Control F, modal title. And there it is. So I can do my curly title prop. And now this didn't change, but if I click, that's modal 1. I go here, this is modal 1. Why? Oh, because I did, what the heck? Title prop, that's weird. Why is it all modal 1? It's weird. Modal 1, Modal 2, Modal 3, modal titles, we're mapping that. Title prop. That's strange. So what I would want to do now is console log this. Title item to see what the heck is going on. Because this should change with each thing. So let's see. Console. Undefined. Oh, that's when it first begins, maybe. Modal 1, Modal 2, Modal 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it is changing.
I have a question. Yeah. Could it be, because I was going to ask in the modal file, since you want to change where you put it, do you have to change where you put the first title prop?
Like this? Or
no, yeah, that one. Is that for the whole?
It should be
that's one.
Dynamic.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah.
Could it have something to do with the class?
With
or ID within H1, within that area, line 26? Yeah.
I wonder. Not that I'm aware of. So let me see. How would I console log? Over here, console log. Title prop. Title. And let me get rid of this console log. Okay, so now let me refresh that. Title, it's 1 and 2 and 3. So that's changing as well. And that is this thing, right? Yeah, it's this one. So, oh, it's like when I click on it, it doesn't, so I had to think about how is it working. This clicks, this has to be dynamic, I think. So the IDs, but I'm not gonna, I can figure that out, but I don't wanna, y'all gotta take your break and we got a project to do, and that's a little more advanced than what we need to know for right now. I'm tempted to, but no. That, anyway, cool. So great, guys. So we will. Let me just show this one little part before we go take our break. So what you guys will be mapping will be these cards down here. Instead of putting 4 card components, you'll do it once and you'll map it and it will show up like that. And instead of card title, we'll have props, like an array of strings maybe. And yeah. But awesome. So we'll take our break, come back 7:55 and go from there. See y'all soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.